Hey guys. So, this is Art of the Dragon. Dun-dun. Why are dragons so cool? Why do people always like to draw dragons? Um, how long ago were dragons invented? Or, uh, like when did they start drawing them? So, just gonna show you some coolness. I don't know, dragons are really, really cool. And everyone seems to love to draw them. All the best fantasy artists draw dragons, one or another. You know what I mean? Like, they're just so freaking cool. And just looking through any of this stuff, you could see just like dragons and dragons and dragons. I mean, out of all of the mythological creatures, all of the fantasy creatures, dragons are the most iconic. And therefore, people make books like this, Art of the Dragon. And one of the best, I mean, the cover is done by Michael Whelan, and like one of the best artists of all time, I think, is Michael Whelan. And if you just like look through some of this stuff, you will see just awesomeness and awesomeness. And the thing is, even though dragons have like a look, an iconic look, it's even though they have like that iconic look, they look so much different. There's all different kinds of dragons from all different kinds of places. And what year, I mean, when exactly the dragons start to become like a thing? Like when the dragons become art? I think like the first dragon picture, I mean, did the Norse, did like Vikings, draw dragons? Well, Vikings were like only maybe like less than 1,000 years ago. And paintings are also kind of in the area of the Renaissance. Well, the good paintings. Before the Renaissance, all the paintings were kind of flat. Like Egyptians had the stylized paintings, so did the Greeks. Well, the Greeks actually, their paintings were a little bit flat, but their sculptures were actually really, really good. But there weren't any real dragon sculptures. I think the first one was like that King George and the Dragon painting that they had. I think that was like the first dragon, like the oldest dragon painting. Julie Bell. I mean, the oldest dragon painting was that. And so this is a really, really cool book, and this is just all this, I would say this book has like all the coolest, like the best dragon artists and their best dragon work, definitely. There's another one, there's this one here which is called Dragon World. And this is just also, and what's cool about Dragon World is like, it's different types of dragons from different places. They try to like classify it. They try to present some logic behind how they would, the places they would live and how they were adapted to the places they would live. And this is kind of cool. Sort of like adapted to the places where they would live. And there's just a bunch. This is pretty cool. I was actually looking at this one and like, this is pretty awesome though. This is just dragon art. And I'll show you some of this. Like, I really think like at a certain time, there is just, everyone is drawing dragons. Everyone is doing dragons. Everyone, puts dragons on their wall. But dragons themselves, I think they're before the Middle Ages. I think the oldest stories that have dragons, pretty much, I would say that the oldest myths, like the first myths, the Sumerian, the Babylonian myths, those older, like even like I think Greek myths have dragons in them. So dragons are like probably, I would say, they're the first creative creature that was created through art. I think that dragons were, they were just, let me show that. They were created through art. Someone drew a dragon, and that's how it was created. I mean, at the time that happened, I could see like people drawing a horse or a person or a buffalo or some kind of animal that existed. But the first creative picture of something that did not exist, that someone drew from imagination, I think the first iconic one, the first one that really stuck, the first one that came out, because there could have been other ones, was the dragon. And there's no dragon cave paintings. There's only, back then, the cave paintings, there's only animals, and the cave paintings we found, there are caves right now with cave paintings that we don't have any idea about, that are sealed up, and we haven't seen through thousands of years. But I think it's the first mythical creature. I think that its picture came before its actual story. Because before writing, there was speaking, there was language, and all the stories were just told verbally from people to people. And eventually, when writing came along, people would start writing the stories down, and then instead of just teaching the story and just verbally teaching it and verbally saying it, you can actually write it down, you could show it to someone, they can read it, But with art, yes, there was the cave painting animals, and then there was the first thing that stuck that was not real, that was just a figment of art, and that was the dragon. And now it's just something that just blows up your imagination, and you can't get a dragon wrong, You can't get, you can't draw it wrong. It's completely imaginary. You draw something with wings, it could be bat wings, it could be like bird wings, and just wings, some teeth, and breathing fire. It's a dragon. Just so cool. And I love all of these dragons that people have drawn. And pick up this one. This is actually a pretty cool book. This is called Dragon Art. So if you like dragons, this is probably like one of the coolest books you can get. Oh wait, let me see. Here we go. This is just definitely one of the coolest books you can get. So yeah, why dragons? They're like one of the things that come forth on all levels. They're cool, and they're also like something that's kind of like in Pantheon. It's something that you look at it and you're like, it's cool, but it's also established. It also has stories of just well-loved stories about them, and it's not only something that has no meaning that's cool. It has a very deep meaning, and the more you look at, but the thing is that with all the meaning and with all the establishment and everything about it, just dragons are just cool, and drawing them and putting them on your walls is just awesome. And guys, whoever's making books like this and putting all these dragons together, keep making them. They're awesome.